Hey everybody. Oh gosh, I've longed for this day. Finally we're doing something about the veterans. Here we are at the Veterans Administration. Check it out. We've got some of the buildings here. Henry Waxman got hit so hard here. So Lyin Ted Lieu, Kevin Spacey's best friend, the guy who thinks that illegal alien lives matter and not American citizens. He's having another town hall today, and he's going to be featuring the veterans. So I'm here to respect the veterans, but I'm here to also to call out Lyin Ted because he's done very little to care for the needs of veterans, and that's wrong, and we just can't have that. So here we go. I've talked to a lot of people. They've been really upset. They don't like how they don't like how the veterans have been treated so poorly. You know, 40 years this facility hasn't been helping veterans. 40 years they've had private contractors doing whatever they want on this property. It's outrageous. Henry Waxman ran this area for 40 years and did nothing. Yeah, and neither does Lieu. I don't care if he is a veteran. I'm going after him on this. This guy cares more about illegals. Here we go. We got federal police.
Veterans Day, you guys.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Okay. Veterans Town Hall. Okay, here we go. Veterans Town Hall. Wow. I've been in this theater before, though. Okay. Okay. The fact that it even has a theater here says a lot.
Yeah, and what's the best email to reach you?
Okay, we got. Oh, look at that ice! Check it out. Go ahead, sir. Look at that. We got ice. All right. Customs and Border Protection. Yeah. Can you help me? Shopper. SCH. Thank you for your service. Yes. ICE agent. Yes.
How do you spell that?
SCH.
After that?
A. SCHA.
And after that?
Arthur.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, there we go. Ooh, I'd be really upset if they told me I couldn't come in. Grant support letters. How about more for ICE? Homeless veterans access to legal services. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Afternoon, sir.
How you doing? Good. Raul. Hey, what's up? Good. There we go. Okay, perfect. Thank you for your service. Okay.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. We're trying to get people seated. If you'd like
Okay,
to find
thank you very much.
A seat.
Everything.
Some of your colleagues are here. Due respect.
Wait. This is why I'm sitting at the end.
Listen, he's going to let us.
Listen, okay.
He's going to keep the signs down.
Okay.
And what else?
As long as you know, I don't have a problem with you talking about what's on your mind, as long as it's done respectfully. Okay? No yelling, screaming, cursing, things like that. Are we in agreement?
We yell sometimes.
I respect all veterans, but my congressman doesn't respect our veterans. That's the problem, and I have a lot to tell him.
Congressman does not respect our veterans.
My father's a veteran
I
too.
understand. And
Bring it to
I
his
appreciate
attention.
Okay, did they just target you guys and just start giving you a hard time? Is that what's going on?
We can't use the signs. Is
Well,
what they're
that's
saying.
because
Of
I have
course,
a sign.
of course, they relented. They relented and allowed us to bring the signs, but bring them low. We got to
Guys,
keep them low.
I'm with DAV, Disabled American Veterans, and when you're on VA property, you agree to all the rules of the VA, and one of the rules is
A town hall is a public event.
Okay, we already
You
resolved
cannot
the
have
issue,
rules
sir.
Like I
to
just told
impede
you.
our free speech.
Okay, so you're allowed to keep your signs.
I'm not getting my sign.
Good.
No law shall be
Okay.
made to impede our free speech.
Yeah. I saw a play here that starred Al Pacino. It was about 10 years ago.
This is what they forget. We have a constitution.
Yeah. I don't stop having rights because I'm on a federal property. Yeah.
My sign is.
Well, I don't want to do that. But if
It's
you're,
happened.
but if
Okay.
you're disrespectful,
Shit, it looks like I got to sit in the middle anyway. Okay. Oh, what's going on? What's happening? All right, just as long as they don't mess with you.
I
Okay.
got the receipts here. So
Okay, I'll take. Can I?
I want to take the end so I can show my sign.
Okay.
So that it doesn't impede anybody's view.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Can I sit? I'll sit right there then. Right there in the closest in the middle. Okay, that's fine. I got hats
Either
too. Okay. This is perfect.
I
Okay.
may or may not agree with my sign, but that's my freedom of speech.
Yeah, Ted Lieu, total rat. You know, he voted against Kate's law. So illegal alien lives matter, but not veterans, not American citizens. Aguilar, Barragan. Do you have those Fire Ted Lieu signs? Did you bring those?
What?
The little lap signs with okay, great. Thank you for doing
I
this.
even made up some new ones.
Oh, cool. Okay, so Ted Lieu now wants to give veterans access to legal services. You know, but veterans still can't get health care on this property. They can't stay in the hospital. This has been going on for 40 years. 40.
You got to watch that movie. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
That is, I'll tell you what, it'll get you.
Yeah, that's one of Lou's staffers right there, too. See, he knows me right away. He said, your colleagues are here. He said that.
We're good. Keep the signs down, as always said, a little bit, so we're not blocking other people's
That's
view.
because maybe you don't agree with our point of view,
I'm
but
not
that's...
even talking to you. I'm just saying.
Oh, you're just
You
talking
asked
to
me
the-
how I was. I said I was doing fine.
I was trying to be
Doing this
respectful
little
with
bit
you,
of-
sir.
It's a little hubbub here.
Are we all sitting here? Just
Yeah, I'm going to sit here.
This is what makes this country so great.
It is, that we can have a hubbub but not agree.
Mike's here
When
somewhere.
I was over
Mike,
in
I saw him back
Korea,
over there.
I
Go sit
understood it.
somewhere
When
else,
I
sir.
was over in Korea, I was understood what made this country great. I don't need to hear
wasn't
again
demo
from
rats.
you.
It
I
wasn't
don't want to
DC
talk.
rats.
I don't
It wasn't
want to
DC
talk
rats.
to you.
Nope.
You're talking.
You asked me a question and I told you.
Okay.
End of story.
Yes.
For you it is, not for me.
Yep.
End of story.
Freedom of speech.
That's
I
right.
get the right to express my opinion, whether you like it or not.
Wonderful.
I want you to stop videotaping me. So if you include me in your picture, you're breaking the law by videotaping on VA property. It's against the law.
But this is a public
I'm
event.
warning you once. You break the federal law. So if you keep doing that,
Can you show me the law?
Yeah.
don't have to show
This is a town hall. I'm allowed to record.
Show me the law.
I don't have to show it to you.
Yes, you do.
Sir, when you come onto VA property, you accept the fact
Look,
that
sir, I'm a veteran, okay?
And so am I. I don't really want to hear
Well,
it.
then
Just
don't
don't
talk to me the
videotape
way you're
me
talking.
or
Okay.
you're going to have problems.
I don't want to videotape you. You came to me.
I will ask you to have you removed. So.
Thank you, sir.
Wow.
That's what happens when you got a bunch of liberals.
Yeah. You know, who dishonor our the
That's why I
service of
call
our
them demo
veterans.
rats.
Yeah. Dishonoring our veteran services is offensive. I'm allowed to record.
You'll see it here. And
Well, certainly, sir, but we're trying to silence just for
oh, you know what? We can go further back.
You want to do that? I want to be able to see, though.
See, there's nobody sitting over there behind us. We'll have more of a access. Unless you want to sit here.
Well,
Tell you what, save these seats right here.
Yeah. I'm going to save these. And I need to be close enough so I can see.
So you can-
Yeah. So I can record effectively. Yeah, they're making rules based on what they want. He can't tell me to not record. I'm allowed to record. DC rats, Pelosi, she's a rat. Schumer's a rat. The real, look at that.
You see the tears?
Yeah,
He's a real clown.
yeah. Crying Chuck. Barragan, unpatriotic.
Remember what she did?
Yeah.
Wouldn't say the Pledge
Wouldn't
of
see the Pledge of
Allegiance?
Allegiance. That's offensive. And there's... Why does the Waters rat have a handkerchief?
She's wiping her nose.
Okay. But she's a rat. She doesn't care about her if she drips everywhere.
I should have worn my uniform.
That would have been great. And but you're a veteran regardless, whether you wear a veteran uniform or not.
Maybe they would respect us more.
Good question.
I'm going to move with you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, Felicia.
Goodbye. Here we
Rude.
go. Right here. Sit right there.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Hey guys.
Gary. Gary.
Thank you. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service. Okay. So remember, our beef is with Lyin Ted. Our beef is with Lyin Ted, who doesn't care about our veterans.
I don't want to sit 2 feet from Martha. Oh, nothing personal.
Ouch.
No, because it films better when I'm 10, 20 feet away from you.
Oh,
You're right next to
oh, you can look at me better.
No, I,
Okay. That's okay. I can handle
This
it.
guy's a crazy person. He's like trying to.
Lyin Ted cares about illegals, and he wants to take away bail, and he voted for the Iran deal.
And you know what?
No rats.
I couldn't hear the bizarre video.
We do. She was seated better. We do have a different post. No, you said as long as I don't show my sign.
I said the signs stay down, and you're not disruptive.
I'm not getting anybody's way. The sign is out there.
No, but you're in the hallway.
You then hasn't started yet.
It doesn't matter. So
Yes, it does matter.
What if a fire started?
You run out of here.
No.
Raul,
I'm not going to
sit down, Raul.
Officer.
I am, sir.
Raul, sit down.
Right here.
What is your badge?
Right here.
What is your badge?
Raul, this man gave us permission.
Okay. Do you have his name
339.
and his
I'll give
name?
you my
Sit here with our son.
Okay.
Can you do that? I'll give you my.
That's fine.
How's that?
Raul, he gave us
Okay.
permission.
I'm not trying to give you a bad time either.
We respect law enforcement, and I met an ICE agent. I shook his hand today. I love what he's doing.
Yeah,
I respect veterans, but I have a job to do.
Sir, again, I just want to go on the record. I'm telling this guy not to videotape.
Okay, this is a public event.
Town hall.
Then why are you getting in the way of my camera? You're disturbing me, sir.
Why are you walking up to our cameras?
That's just here for one reason, to cause
Sir, you
trouble.
protect our rights.
Nope.
That's what I'm telling them, sir. Relax,
Thank you,
have a
sir.
seat.
Thank you.
Don't want you videotaping.
What's your name again?
Then go away.
Our cameras then.
I know you're harassing me, sir. Thank
Telling
you.
to stop videotaping.
Go sit
We can
down.
videotape our rights.
Yes, we can.
Sir, you're an asshole,
error.
and I want you to
Okay,
stop
I got you saying that to him. I'm recording you being violent.
Stop videotaping.
You're being hostile. I have to record that to protect myself. Thank you for your service. Okay. Okay.
I respect your right to say whatever you have to say as long as we're not under you.
Okay, this is why I'm sitting on the end.
Yeah.
So I'm
Do you-
sit on the end, show my sign so nobody can
May I have your
read about it.
I prefer you don't.
I'm going to hold her to the side.
right? We don't want to block anybody.
I'm going to demonstrate.
May I have a card too? Okay.
It's called freedom of speech.
I understand that, but on the VA,
I don't have to
on the VA,
yell
you
it out.
have to have a permit to demonstrate, and showing off your sign and all that is.
My constitution gives me the right.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah, but well,
Officer or Deputy Chief.
I'm on nobody's
I just
side.
gave-
I'm trying to make it.
Where did you serve? You said you're a veteran.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. Okay. That's
I
fine.
respect all the VA.
Okay. I'm just asking. That's all. That's fine.
I appreciate that. I ask the same from you guys.
Okay. Okay, remember, our upset is with Ted. We respect the veterans and their stories. I want to hear their stories.
Yes, I'm out of the way.
Wow, what a bunch of freaking crazy people.
I know, it's absolutely crazy. Well, okay, you're 2 seats close to me, man.
This is really ridiculous.
Okay, this is what I've got.
The guy was literally trying to assign our seating. He's like, "You should sit right there, sir." I was like,
This
"I'm going to
is
sit
what
where I'm
I've
going to sit."
Yeah.
Right here.
Let me see.
The one.
Oh,
Look at
yes.
the other side.
Yes. Do you have one about immigration? Just wondering. Do you have one about, because I gave you those pictures where he has a shirt that says illegal alien lives matter.
No, you know what?
I'll give it to you next time.
I have it.
Thanks for recording me.
I have it on my computer. I thought you couldn't record.
I thought you didn't want to be recorded.
How about this?
Okay, thank you.
He learned that he could record.
Yay!
We liberated another citizen.
Get this picture.
We
I want you to see
liberated
that.
him. He can record now.
Make sure you record me with the sign.
You're touching me.
This is
Thank
what
you.
he is, a traitor.
Don't
See
touch
that?
anybody. You're
He
not
is
allowed
a
to
traitor.
touch.
Don't touch him. Don't
Make sure you
Back
record
up.
me
He
too.
is a
Back
traitor.
up.
See that?
touching me right
Back up.
now.
You're touching. You're touching. Back up.
Yeah,
You're
he's touching him.
Stop touching him.
Don't record back in your area.
Gary, do you feel like molested or pushed upon?
This is ridiculous. I mean, I haven't done anything to
He's already
anybody.
married and he doesn't like men, so leave him
I
alone.
haven't done anything to anybody here, and I've been harassed since the minute I've walked through the door.
That's offensive.
By police, by some little security guy that thinks he could tell us all what to do, and now this guy says not to film him as he walks in front of my camera.
But you know what? You still have white privilege, though.
I do have white privilege, even though I'm not
The privilege of being harassed.
even though I'm not even majority white myself.
Oh, no kidding. What's the rest of your mix?
Like everything.
Really?
Yeah.
You've got black and Hispanic?
Well, I don't know about that, but I have a lot of
You know, I'm
Hispanic.
so sorry. I meant to return these to you.
It's okay. You want one of these?
Let me see.
I like them, so I kept them.
That's a good one.
You probably could file charges. They were worth it.
There we go.
I hope you are.
Let me see. Fire the rat. Next time, I got some great pictures. There you go. I got some great pictures that have Lyin Ted with that shirt, and it says...
I have it on
Okay.
the computer. I just got to make...
That's fine.
Copies of
Next time, if you can, that'd be great. It has one that says illegal alien lives matter.
It says...
Kevin Spacey is my hero. Yeah, this guy hasn't denounced Kevin Spacey yet. Kevin Spacey, who sleeps with kids and rapes men, and he hasn't denounced him yet. So I don't know how that honors our veterans when he is palsy-walsy with the pedophile. It's very offensive.
How's that? Is that better? It's up to the side. No.
And I'm not blocking anybody.
It obviously is. If I'm over here. Well, yeah, but you got to go to the other side.
Are we good? You know, I'd rather have them down.
We haven't done like this, so I'm not blocking anybody.
I don't have because here's what I understand, but here's what happens. Other people start getting upset, as we've already seen.
That's what we got you for.
That's what we got me for.
Yes, you're protecting us. Thank you.
You handle it for us.
From these hostile liberals.
We are the target, sir.
See, this
We
is
are
what
the
this is what I
target.
love about these Democrat events is they try to preach all this freedom and we love the
We
troops.
will be the target.
But then we're going to crap on all of your rights that these people fought and died for.
I heard the big rats.
Such freaking hypocrites.
He looks like a rat. He's got that mouth like a
I mean, they
rat.
hate the military, but then they have military events.
They want to pretend to be pro-veteran, but they promote illegals.
And then you have Ted Lieu, who's a colonel in the United States military, and all he does is spend all day going after his commander-in-chief. He should be court-martialed for that.
Oh, sure. Come on through. I gotta make sure I see it. I got
sorry.
it. I got it. No problem. I got it. It's okay. I got strong feet. Let me handle it. Okay. No problem. It's okay. Yeah, someone just pointed it out. Shannon, the guy that doesn't want to be filmed is always in front of the camera. Someone explain that to me.
Which guy is that?
The guy who was harassing us and touching Gary here inappropriately.
Oh, look at that. You can bring your dog in here.
Oh, check it out. Service dog.
Yeah, you can bring a dog, but you can't bring in a sign.
That's a problem.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these people are freaking stupid.
One of my people, it's a tribute to the flag. Somebody published an article in the newspaper the other day of a man burning an American flag and stomping on it.
I'm against that also.
That's offensive. That's evil.
I was going to ask him to forbid him to carry a bill excluding burning the American flag or desecrating it.
Who are you going to ask that?
Yeah.
Who are you going to ask to do that?
I can't talk
Be
to him.
sure. Are you going to be up there?
No,
Okay.
can't get up.
Be sure that they do what the police do. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to insist they do it.
Yeah, we want you to help us.
Okay?
Thank you for your service. So we want to remember, I'm interested. Lyin Ted. Lyin Ted cares more about illegals than he does veterans.
See, look, you're being disruptive because now she wants to film you.
Oh my gosh, you're filming me. That other guy, where is he? The guy who's triggered.
What happened to Mike?
Mike's in the middle somewhere.
I wonder if you want some signs.
Thank you guys.
Make sure I've got it.
Yes. Lyin Ted. Lyin Ted. He lies about caring about this country. He protects illegal aliens.
To say about a veteran.
You know what? He doesn't honor our veterans, so I can say whatever I want. Being a veteran is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. I absolutely hate McCain, and he's a veteran too. He's a veteran in name only. He's a war hero. He's a war hero because he got caught. I'm sorry, that's Donald Trump's rag. But it's okay for them to film, I know. So we got people. So for everybody who's watching, let me know questions you want me to ask. Lyin Ted, hear him roar. Wow, funny. Oh yeah, take a hat. That's why I brought him. Yeah.
He's got one. He's got a
I've got hats. Yeah, red. Yeah. So I brought my hats. Everybody, there you go. Did you want one? Oh, you got one? You got one already? Oh, it's yours. Oh yeah, you already got yours. Yeah. American Dreamers first. Did you guys watch any of the Riverside Republican Assembly last night? Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, make America great again.
I'm not here for any political reason, but I
have 5 Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
I appreciate decorum.
You know what? I would appreciate decorum from you as well. Why are you talking to me?
They'll learn a little bit about free speech.
You know what? We're the ones being harassed. This is called the First Amendment, sir. Is that a problem for you?
G-rated.
First Amendment.
Allowed to be here?
G-rated, sir. Do you understand me? G-rated.
You know what? You are doing a bad example for your Boy Scouts when you try to desecrate the First Amendment. That's offensive.
They're open.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
See, here's the thing. They want us all climbing over here. They say it's for fire hazard.
And then they roped up all the seats in the middle.
Sit where we want.
Yeah. That's all right. How you doing? Hey, yes. Lyin Ted.
How about this?
Traitor.
You want one of these?
Yeah, that's a good one. Lyin Ted. He's offensive.
You want one of these?
Sure.
How much more time do we have before they stop harassing?
It's 2 o'clock now.
Oh, wow, and he's late. You know, making veterans wait, that's offensive.
They are supposed to be on time when they're...
You know, you guys, that last meeting with Becerra, I felt like they took advantage of us and just made us watch their show.
Well, they spent more time handing out awards to people who don't deserve them,
Yeah.
which is really offensive. You like Ted Lieu? Hate Ted Lieu?
My response is a lot like the Lord's. I'm for neither. I'm for goodness in the world.
God takes over. He doesn't choose sides. He already won.
Right.
So what do you do with the bad guys?
Huh? You love them, like Jesus said.
Okay. But when they have responsibilities and don't follow through, you hold them accountable.
You have the same views, Arthur.
Even though
You're a man of God.
The question is, what is
This man's
love?
a man of God.
You know what I'm saying?
God giving his son to die for us.
I'm a Christian, but you know what? You could only take it so far. Then you got to fight back.
You do. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see what let's see. There were empty seats with Becerra too. That was fun. I did the best I could. I said, but when somebody lies to you, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit and take it. When he says, you guys, I asked about the colleges, and he wouldn't talk about defending the rights of conservatives to speak on colleges. He's my attorney general. He won't defend my rights. That's offensive.
We're losing people around. Why is that?
I don't know. I guess they're not used to the truth.
What is that?
Well, it means more freedom for me, I guess. I agree.
We're giving the card.
Oh, I got it from him.
You saw, sir?
Yeah, Andres. He's the Deputy Chief, United States Department of Veterans Affairs Police.
Good evening and welcome to our town hall, hosted by our Congressman Ted Lieu.
Lyin Ted.
Deserving of that applause. Before we begin, as a courtesy, if you have cell phones, if you have pagers, weed whackers, Cuisinart, please turn them off.
If you have tasers, I think I hear something.
My name is Chaplain Doug Cohen. I will be acting as your MC for today's Veterans Town Hall. Congressman Ted Lieu has organized this special event, which was originally created by author Sebastian Junger. In the tradition of warrior storytelling today, veterans will describe the pride, grief, rage, or quiet appreciation of life that war bestowed upon them. Each veteran will be given up to 5 minutes to speak about what his or her service meant to them. This event is solemn and nonpartisan. There will be no question and answer period. There will be no debate on the merits or justification of war. There will be no recrimination or accusation. This is simply a chance for veterans to tell their community what it felt like to go to war or to serve our country. I am proud that I was able to serve my country in the United States Air Force from 1962 to 1966, with duty assignments in Texas, France, Spain, Morocco, Libya, Germany, my final assignment at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. Coming right out of seminary, I was able to share my insight with my fellow active duty servicemen and women and learn from those with far greater experience than I. Among the opportunities afforded me were working with the cemetery staff near Omaha and Utah beaches at Avalanche, becoming very involved with the Little Sisters of the Poor as they cared for hundreds of the French economy, and resettling displaced persons from behind the Iron Curtain. Now, as I serve in my 55th year in chaplaincy, I work closely with veterans incarcerated in the women's and men's prisons and have established VIP, Veterans in Prison, to make certain that whenever humanly possible, these veterans will never again face imprisonment. They become valued members of society upon being released and associate with veterans posts, and none, I am proud to say, have returned to prison since 2014, when we began the VIP program. Before we get started, I'd like to set some ground rules about it. First, to our friends of the press, thank you for attending. We greatly appreciate you respecting the intent of this event by remembering that all veterans' comments are deeply personal. While this is an open event, I would ask that you please respect the privacy of these veterans by asking either a member of our staff or the veterans themselves if they want to be on the record. Today, there are many veterans and many non-veterans in attendance. In order for the town hall to be successful, my role is to ensure that the event honors the following agreements and expectations. A number of veterans have already indicated to us that they'd like to speak, and they are currently sitting on our stage. Later, I'll introduce each by name, branch, occupation, and years of service. This is an opportunity for these veterans to tell their stories with honesty, and they may express the feelings that these memories invoke. Non-veterans also have an important role. As witnesses, non-veterans will be listeners. Actively listening without judgment or interruption is one of the most powerful and supportive roles the community can offer to our returning warriors. Throughout this event, you may hear something with which you agree or with which you disagree. You may have a question, or you may want to say encouraging words with the intent to help. However, we ask that you please refrain from responding to any speaker at any time. Having laid out these ground rules, let's begin by standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem.
Absolutely.
Leading the Pledge of Allegiance today is Colonel Dick Littlestone. Colonel Littlestone served in the Army from 1943 until 1975. Please face the American flag. You may offer a hand salute if you are even in civilian clothes, and those in military uniform, of course. Colonel Littlestone.
Please join me. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you, Colonel Littlestone. Please remain standing.
Yes.
Singing the national anthem today is a Marine veteran, David Nen Curtis. I've gotten to know David quite well over the years. David has honored us by performing at the Los Angeles National Cemetery on Memorial Day at the Screen Actors Guild's first ever event last June, honoring those who served their country, and is the best darn Santa Claus you'll ever see. Really, he is. Please welcome David Nen Curtis.
Yeah.
Thank you. No one take a kneel. Thanks. Not that. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's glass gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched
were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right.
I'd like to take a few seconds now to introduce the host of today's event, our Congressman Ted Lieu.
Boo!
In 2016, Congressman Lieu was re-elected for a second term to the House of Representatives. He represents the 33rd Congressional District. He currently serves on the House Judiciary Committee and the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Representative Lieu was an active duty officer in the U.S. Air Force between the years 1995 to 1999, where he was stationed in Guam. He has been in the Air Force from the year 2000 to the present, and currently he serves as colonel in the reserve stationed at Los Angeles Air Force Base. In Congress, Representative Lieu has established himself as a leader on the environment, on cybersecurity, civil liberties, and especially veterans. He co-authored the legislation that allows for the building of 1,200 units of permanent supportive housing for homeless veterans right here on the West LA VA campus.
It took so long. Boo, shame on Lieu, not doing his job.
Congressman Lieu co-authored 2 other bills that provide a total of $70 million to West LA VA for seismic retrofitting of its building. And like all the veterans today, he too will be sharing a story from his time in the service. Please welcome Congressman Ted Lieu.
Boo! Shame on Lieu! Boo! Lieu dishonors our veterans. Boo! Shame on Ted Lieu.
Good afternoon. I'm so honored for you to join us. Happy Veterans Day. And I thought to celebrate Veterans Day, we should do this town hall where we listen to veterans.
Yes.
And it's going to be one where we don't judge, we don't criticize, we just listen to their stories and we learn.
Yes.
They've done this in other settings. It can be quite moving. I think you're also going to see the incredible diverse array of missions that our U.S. military does. And we have the best military in the world because of our personnel, because of people on stage that you're going to hear from. So I'm going to just share with you my one experience I had when I was active duty in the Air Force at Anderson Air Force Base in Guam. We conducted Operation Pacific Haven, which turned out to be, at that time, the most successful Department of Defense humanitarian operation that the agency had done. We went into northern Iraq, airlifted thousands of Kurds because Saddam Hussein was going to go in and kill them, and we brought them into Guam. And then we based them there for about a year to a year and a half and vetted them, make sure that there weren't Saddam loyalists, make sure there were no spies there, and then we sent most of them to the United States. I was the executive director at the time for the base camp that we set up. I was also chief of operations law. And I remember watching these Kurds coming out of the planes that landed in Guam. It was about 90 degrees at the time, and they were wearing, 10 layers of clothing because they brought everything with them. And I thought, no other country would have done this. We spent treasure and we risked personnel in order to bring these Kurds here because they helped us. They helped us against Saddam Hussein. If we hadn't done that, they would have been killed. Most of you would not have read about it. At most, it may have been one story. And then that would be it. We felt an obligation because they helped us, we were going to help them. And to this day, the Kurds remain one of our strongest allies. I had this amazing experience to go back to Iraqi Kurdistan about 5 years ago, and we visited President Barzani. And I remember we're sitting in this meeting, it was about 45 minutes long. They knew I participated in Operation Pacific Haven. Afterwards, as I was walking away, a young staffer to President Barzani comes up to me and he says, I was one of those kids getting off one of those planes in Guam. You saved my life and my family's life. He eventually went to the East Coast of the United States to study, and they went back to Iraqi Kurdistan to help rebuild his country. And it's amazing to see some of the things that your U.S. military does for you on a daily basis. And so from that experience, I realized what an amazing amount of missions that our military does and the good work that our military does there each and every day. And so now we're going to hear from other veterans and their experiences. And
that's what I
thank
want to
you
hear.
again for coming here, and happy Veterans Day.
Okay, our first speaker, following the Congressman, is Chi Zato, who would like to speak to the community. She is an Army veteran who served as an infantry officer from 1997 to 2005 during the Iraq War and Iraqi Freedom Area. Chi Zato, please.
When I think about my service, I think about Captain George Wood, Captain Ian Weichel, Captain John Teal, Captain Eric Harold Woda, Captain Mark Payne, Captain Mike McKinnon, Captain Dennis Pintor, Lieutenant Colonel Jamie Leonard, Lieutenant Colonel Gary Derby, Specialist Joseph Norquist. A big bear hug, talking about their kids, a nasty growl, a guy who brought his road bike to Iraq, a future WWF star, talking about archaeology, embracing the suck, a perpetual mouthful of chaw, playing 5'10" and under basketball. These are all the little things that remind me of just a few of my dear friends, classmates, and soldiers lost in combat. My story in combat probably isn't unique. Thinking your unit missed the bulk of the fighting and that you'd all be home in just a couple months, right before the start of the insurgency. Utter boredom intermingled with fear. Small glimpses of the reality that maybe I too could get hurt after the 8th or 9th or 10th close call. The constant, heavy responsibility that the privilege of command requires. Nightly mortar attacks that almost bore you with the necessity of taking cover, mingle with nights of gruesome horror you clean up with your hands. Seeing the amusing faces of Iraqi children calling out, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, the only Asian they've ever seen in real life.
Wow.
Sharing triumphs with local Iraqi leaders and getting the runs from eating with them.
Nice.
The utter disbelief, anger, and fury that one of your best friends could possibly be killed. Storming off in the night, wandering without night vision to find the wharf because you have to see him to believe it. Getting stuck building a forward operating base instead of finding his killers. Coming home and deciding to leave the service to do other things. Building a fun new life at the beach where every day has happy hour. You can always find people to play beach volleyball with. But still living with the idea you haven't given enough, that you owe, that you don't deserve this easy life, that you need to continue to serve. I found this path by starting a nonprofit to fundraise for veteran organizations. Through funding social events, Toast Our Vets Foundation has been able to raise tens of thousands of dollars for great organizations like Team Rubicon, Vet Hunters Project, and Team Red, White, and Blue. I don't want to just remember the fallen. I want to celebrate their memories and dreams. I owe, and the way I honor those gone before me is how I live my life for others. My service in the Army means continuing to serve our veterans, their families, and our great nation. Those that live in our hearts have eternal life. Thanks.
Thank you, Chief Zato. Our next speaker, Tatiana Medina, would like to speak to the community. Tatiana is a Navy veteran who served as an operations specialist from 2008 to 2012 during Operation Odyssey Dawn. Tatiana, please.
I served on board the USS Mount Whitney, which is a forward-deployed amphibious communication ship homeported in Gaeta, Italy, from 2008 to 2012. I also did a summer deployment with the USS Forrest Sherman, which is a destroyer, in 2009. I served as an operations specialist and was the sole air directional controller on board the USS Mount Whitney. In 2011, I took part in Operation Odyssey Dawn and logged 119 working hours in just 11 days of the operation. I have over 750 flight operations under my belt, which include bringing 2 different presidents of Lithuania and 2 congressmen on board. I got to meet Master Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, Rick West, who at the time was the highest ranking enlisted sailor in the Navy. I also got to meet Admiral Michelle Howard, who was the first African-American woman to achieve the rank of 4-star admiral. She promoted me to Petty Officer 3rd class. I have been sprayed with OC, then sent on an obstacle course, put in a gas-filled room, then told to take my gas mask off, and even kneeled in a tub of ice and seawater in the Arctic Circle. I have visited 17 countries and 141 cities in just 3.5 years. I worked 5 hours on and 5 hours off, with the off time never guaranteed, and sometimes working 24 to 36 hours straight.
Wow.
My leave had been denied so many times that I did not go home for an entire year. I've missed birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations. I proudly served and sacrificed because of the love I have for this country. I thought my country would be taking care of me once I came home, not treat me like a second-class citizen. In the 5 years that I have been out of the Navy, I have gone to 4 VAs in 3 states. I have waited 3 to 9 months before seeing a doctor and have been given excuse after excuse as to why the wait times are so long.
God almighty.
I currently reside at the domiciliary here at the West LA VA.
That's single payer for you.
5 months now. I have gotten the best treatment from the VA than I have from any other VA. Unfortunately, it took me to hit rock bottom before I could be admitted to the domiciliary. It shouldn't take me or any veteran to hit rock bottom before getting proper treatment.
Yes.
I served, I sacrificed, and I deserve better.
This is why I post single payer. That's why I post single payer.
Thank you, Tati.
Yeah, I know.
Our next speaker, Dr. George Stanley, would like to speak to the community. Dr. George is an Army veteran who served as a surgical technician between 1942 and 1945 during World War II.
Wow.
Dr. George Stanley.
Yeah.
I'm 92, so I have hope for the myope. Okay. I enlisted in the military when I was 17 and underage. At the same time, my father, who was in his 40s and overage, also enlisted. He went to the military police, and I became an Army Medical Department surgical technician. Wow. I used to love, by the way, I'm going to name drop rather than bomb drop. And so I used to watch the Andy Hardy movies starring Mickey Rooney. I identified with him. Louis Stone played Judge Hardy, who was a fantasy father figure to me. He also served as well. When I got to Fort Riley, Kansas, which in 1887, I wasn't there at that time, Fort Riley became the site of the United States Cavalry School, the famous all-black 9th and 10th Cavalry Regiment. The soldiers of which were called Buffalo Soldiers who were there. I ran into Mickey Rooney.
Oh, wow.
It was a thrill. We got to speak for a while, and Rooney was there for basic training.
Oh.
I also had the honor to meet the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis, heavyweight champion of the world.
Wow.
As well as Jackie Robinson. So, my middle brother became ill in Boston. So I hitchhiked from Fort Riley to Wright Patterson Airfield in Dayton, Ohio. And And there I hitched a ride in a B-25J, which is the same type of plane flown in the first mission over Tokyo. The mission was led by Colonel Doolittle from the aircraft carrier the Hornet, code name Shangri-La. This was my Virgin airplane ride. They say we World War II vets are dying out at a rate of 1 every 65 minutes.
Jeez. Oh, God. Oh, no.
I'm gonna get out of here. Okay. I love you, God bless you, and thank you for being my band of brothers.
Yeah! All right.
Thank you so much, Dr. George.
Wow.
Our next speaker, Major Stephen Hall, would like to speak to the community. Major Hall is an Army Special Forces veteran who served as an infantry soldier between 1966 and 1968 during the Vietnam era. He then continued his military service, as he will tell you. Major Stephen Hall.
Oh, there he is.
I don't know about that picture up there. You know, when you're in combat, facing the enemy is scarier than hell. When I signed up, I was 18 years old. Most of the guys in my first outfit were between 18 and 23. And I was gung-ho. Had no idea what I was getting myself into when I volunteered for Special Forces. Special Forces, our training was more extensive for combat than any of the other branches. You really know what you're in for when you're in actual combat. I was sent to Vietnam and put in a recon unit in 1966, which means we were first in. The first time I was wounded, we came upon 2 companies of Viet Cong about 5 clicks from our base camp. We were ambushed.
Wow.
When we got into the firefight, we lost about 20 guys there. All of a sudden, they started lobbing what they call mortars in on us. One mortar hit approximately 4 to 5 feet behind me, and I received shrapnel in my back and arms. They medevaced me to base camp hospital, and I was allowed to recoup for about 14 days. Thank God it wasn't very serious. And I went back to combat unit.
That's dedication.
After my first tour in Nam, I was supposed to go to Germany, but it never happened. I received a special telegram for me to report to Infantry OCS, Fort Benning, Georgia, for officers training. I completed my training, became a second lieutenant, and they shipped my butt back to Nam. So you have to go where they tell you to go. My second tour in Vietnam, we were about 10 clicks out this time from our base camp, and one of our helicopters went down. We had about 10 guys with us. We got all the people out of the helicopter, and then about a half hour later, we were under attack again by a Viet Cong company. This time they used RPG rockets, radio-controlled rockets, and You buy, you know it, second time. Shrapnel. So I was sent to the rear. After my second tour in Vietnam, I was assigned to special operations out of Fort Benning, Georgia. And most of my tour in the military was in special operations. When I got out of the service after 29 years, I decided to help my fellow veterans. So I started volunteering here at the VA. I've been a volunteer now for over 25 years. Mm-hmm. I'm also a past 4th District Commander for VFW, past State Commander for Military Order Purple Heart, and at present I'm the Commander of the Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 123. I also belong to the Patriot Guard Riders, where we have volunteers all over the country that escort veterans on funerals with our motorcycles. Thank you. Thank you, Major Hall. Our next speaker, Scott Fisher, would like to speak to the community. Scott is a Navy veteran. He served as a mess specialist from 1979 to 2000 during the Cold War era. Scott Fisher.
Like going underway, I'm a submarine sailor. You're in the ocean, and the boat comes to the surface, and it didn't take. It didn't take. So that means that when we came to the surface, and it doesn't take, we start slipping, going back under the water like a rock.
Oh.
So we're going at a 10-degree down angle, stern first, and we're going pretty fast, just like a movie, because I was right by a depth gauge, and you're just watching the thing to dial. Now, because I'm qualified, and that pin means just like an airplane, when they say you put on your mask first and then your kids, it's the same principle in the submarine. You're trained to know how to save my life. If I can save my life, that means I can save your life.
Right.
So I'm not in the control room, but you know exactly what's going to happen as you're watching this depth gauge go backwards. And you're slipping in the ocean. And you got this 1,000,000-ton piece of equipment that's not doing well. So what occurs is that in the control room, the officers and the enlisted, they have to blow the after ballast tanks to slow the burn, you could say, to make a rise on the stern. And as they're doing that, then they have to blow the forward group to make sure that happens so we start leveling. If that's not going to occur, so now, people are on board, some people are asleep, and some things happen. This is happening, under a minute. And that gauge is moving. And when this is occurring, at that point, after they blow the two groups, on this class of submarine is what they call a negative tank.
Much better.
And the negative tank is the last resort. The negative tank is between the bow and the operations compartment, and it's a huge tank. And as you know, in anything you do, you know the sights and sounds of everything around you, what's right and what's wrong, especially in your house. The alarms go off, or you hear a hissing. And when they blow that negative tank, it's do or die. And the submarine, I'm here, the submarine started leveling out. And in that moment of time, I actually felt in my heart and my soul that I had aged. I got my first gray hair now. And,
jeez.
It only took a minute, but I aged. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Scott. Dick Littlestone, who led us in the Pledge of Allegiance, would like to speak to our community. Dick is an Army veteran. Severed primarily, he served as a field artillery officer from 1943 to 1975 during World War II, Korea, and the Vietnam era.
Wow.
Colonel Dick Littlestone.
I'm here to tell you what it is to have what's called a full career in the military.
Wow.
Serving for 32 years. Normally a career is a 30-year career. What it means, and to extol the wives, the spouses of the military person and their families. I had a remarkably varied and challenging military career with many different kinds of assignments, some very short, some up to 3 years. When a service person has a spouse, with or without children, are all partners who sacrifice for the nation. Example is my wife of 69 years was stolen by me after she had completed 1 year of college, never to have the opportunity to complete college, although I was able to achieve a couple of advanced degrees during my tours and following the Army. I was gone from home for days, weeks, months, years, leaving my wife to raise our family by herself. And even when I was home, the military, my assignments required me to spend not a typical 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
It usually required extra hours almost daily. So I was away from home, away from our family, away from my kids, much of the time, to their detriment. I moved 24 times in those 32 years. My family moved 17 of those times to new places all over the United States and to other countries. I was assigned and left for Korea 2 weeks before my wife was due with our daughter. I met my daughter when she was 13 months old.
Ah.
That's kind of fun. Having been a university engineering student when I was drafted in 1943, I was an Army private and combat engineer during World War II, serving in the continental United States. I was then fortunate to be selected, among other enlistees from the Army at large, to attend the United States Military Academy. Of my decorations, I am most proud of the GCM, the Good Conduct Medal, which is awarded only to enlisted men. It is so important for officers to understand what it is to be an enlisted man. That is critical. As a field artillery officer upon graduating from West Point, I served in Germany twice. First as a young lieutenant for the 1st Infantry Division. I returned to Germany years later as an artillery battalion commander, the most sought-after job in the Army as a battalion commander, in the 4th Armored Division with the nuclear-capable artillery. Then I served as the G4 of the 3rd Infantry Division, the division logistics officer. For those unfamiliar, I would say that Army logistics is the procurement and provision of all equipment and supplies, food and clothing for the Army. In Korea, I served as an armored field artillery officer with Battalion S3, fire direction officer. And this photo that you're looking at being sent by the Army, and then later in Vietnam, I served as the Deputy Director of Logistics at the Military Assistance Command Vietnam headquarters, serving the United States and the Vietnamese Armed Forces. After being sent by the Army for an advanced degree in physics, early in my career, I was doing several assignments dealing with nuclear weapons development and nuclear effects. In retirement, among a number of community efforts, I spent the past 21 years fighting for our veterans in Los Angeles County for a full burial at the Los Angeles National Cemetery. The cemetery here was closed to in-ground burials in 1976 and to interments of ashes in 1996. It is important, has been important to me, that the veterans in our county can be laid to rest here,
yes,
not at distant Riverside. After all these years, there's finally groundbreaking occurring for that full burial here, just a couple blocks from this site on the healthcare campus. And there will be a groundbreaking ceremony occurring next week at the full burial site. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel Littlestone. Our next speaker is Arette Gotke. Arette will speak to the community. She was a Navy veteran who served as a mechanical engineer from 1985 to 1992 during the Iraq-Afghanistan era. Arette, please.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here with all of you today. Though I wasn't in the theater of combat, I never knew a day in military service when I didn't have to fight back. My ideas about freedom fell apart at my first duty station in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. My first day there forever changed my life. When I arrived, it was hot as hell. 105 degrees, and Marines were landing hard on lifeboats in full gear, locked and loaded. I thought we were under attack, and I was without a weapon. I, along with another Navy woman, was mandated to wear dress whites with a skirt and heels. We were the only two people there in our mandated dress white uniforms. The men roared with laughter. Later I found out it was DEFEX, full-on base-wide defensive exercises. It was a sneak peek regarding the culture some of us women face in the military. After being allowed to change into my dungarees, many men from up and down the chain of command surrounded me and began catcalling.
You can do it. Go on, you can do it. Yeah. We got you.
Saying humiliating things while groping at me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Their hazing ritual began by
going on today.
Throwing me off the pier.
Oh. Mm.
I was choking on bilge water, chemicals and oils pure side. I was cut up and bleeding from barnacles, but I came out of the ocean swinging to protect myself.
Good girl. Good girl. Yeah!
Woo! Navy men were howling, calling for body parts. They attacked me repeatedly for hours.
Yep.
I was completely cut up, bleeding, dejected, and lost any innocence I arrived with just a couple of hours earlier. There was no one to tell, no way off the base, no phone to use, and the entire chain of command was directly involved. I was 5'1" at the time and approximately 105 pounds, and I had just turned 17 years old.
Wow.
The hazing, while seemingly brutal at the time, actually paled in comparison to many other brutalities I suffered while serving in the military. There was always intimidation, excuses, and cover-ups, yet I never gave up. I did my job well because it was my word and my honor to our country. I was no longer free, but though through my service, maybe, just maybe, I could help free others into the future. And after years of sustaining multiple serious injuries that went left untreated in the military, I was honorably discharged. At the time of discharge, I was left without the ability to walk, no money, no home, no health care, and no employment. I wasn't provided sorely needed medical care after military service and am still fighting for some semblance of quality health care. I taught myself how to sit up.
You can do it.
You can do it.
How to talk, how to think, how to rise, how to walk, and talk again. It took me 5.5 years to learn how to speak in full sentences again. And this month marks my 3rd year anniversary of that milestone. My great fortune is that I have an iron will, which caused me to survive past the brink of destruction, to advocate on behalf of thousands of others, including underserved populations of veterans right here at Greater Los Angeles. I'm the chairwoman of our Women Veteran Patient Advisory Council. The fact that less than 1% of all women in the United States have voluntarily served 100% of the time, and some of us have to fight U.S. military personnel for our very lives during military service to our country, is beyond the pale of reason.
There you go. Say it. Speak it for us.
I am encouraged to change the Me Too conversation to a never again. Harassment, intimidation, and violence against women. My experiences during military service were undeniably horrific, but upholding the preservation of equality and freedom helped me stay alive. My greatest strength is pushing past unspeakable pain, abject suffering, trauma, or humiliation while helping others along the way. I built new skill sets during those combats and recovery years, but failure has never been an option. I am now forever free to help empower others thrive in freedom. I am grateful and honored to be here, and I'm so happy to be alive. God bless you all.
Our next speaker, Keith Brentwood, would like to speak with our community. Keith is an Army veteran who served as head of security from 1986 to 1999 in the Gulf War, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Panama Operation Just Cause, and Somalia Operation Restored Hope. Keith Brentwood, please.
First of all, I really appreciate you having me up here to talk for our veterans.
not just my need, but the rest of our veterans out there that gave the ultimate sacrifice for why we're here today. As a young corporal, when I was in the Berlin Brigade, I just arrived there. I was fresh out of the States. But when I got there, I saw the oppression of the East. That was East Berlin. In East Berlin, I saw the people in pain, the suffering. Within a few short months after being there, the wall came down.
Wow.
I had a front row seat to witness the reunification of East and West become one again. That right there is when I knew what my purpose in the military service was going to be. To watch people be reborn and given freedom. What I have right here, this is a piece of the Berlin Wall that I brought with me back from Berlin. This is a piece of freedom. This right here is what started the Eastern Bloc of Europe into a free society once again. Not long after that, I went on with my career. I exited the service at 60% disability. Went to work for the power company. The physical injuries were so severe that I could not maintain a working relationship with the power company. I lost my job, in turn I lost my home. I lost my family and everything I'd worked for.
Jeez.
I ended up becoming homeless. I went to the streets for 9 years.
Oh my God.
In that 9-year period, I became very confused. I did not see my children for 9 years. But the main thing is I did not know how to advocate for myself within the VA system to get the health care and the benefits that I truly deserve and earned. Well-known company around here called New Directions for Veterans.
Yep.
They stepped up to the plate for me. They taught me how to advocate for myself. Today, I advocate for homeless veterans with mental disability in order for them to receive the skills, the tools, and the techniques to advocate for themselves to get those benefits and the health care that's so badly needed by us veterans. With that, I want to thank you for allowing me to tell my story. But above and beyond, thank you, New Directions for Veterans, for giving me my life back. God bless. God bless the Commander-in-Chief, and God bless the United States of America. Together, we can make this country great.
Yes. Yeah! All right.
Thank you, Keith. Richard Valdez would like to speak with us.
I love his support for our Commander-in-Chief. I love his support for our Commander-in-Chief.
Served as a machine gunner from 1966 to 1969 during the Vietnam era. Richard Valdez.
Thank you. And to all my fellow Marines out in the audience, happy birthday and Semper Fi.
All right.
I joined the Corps in February of '66 while I was still in high school on the delay program. Went to boot camp in July and was in Nam by January of '67. That first day we reported 7 Marines. One of the members of our unit came into our hooch while we were preparing for an operation. We just showed up. CO says, stow your gear, you're going on operation tomorrow. And so that evening while we were getting ready, one of the guys came in and says, anybody in here know how to operate an M60? And of course I said, yeah, I do. I ended up being first gun team machine gunner of Battalion Reactionary Force. 45 days into this first operation, I was wounded and was evacuated to the hospital in Guam, Naval Hospital in Guam. And I know Anderson Air Force Base very well. In fact, flight crew tried to sneak me out of B-52 for a Hanoi run after partying all night, but I couldn't get past security. But that's a different story. While in the hospital there in Guam, orders came down that anybody in the hospital is going to be there 90 days or longer. We're all being sent stateside. Well, I fell into that category. But when they came to me and said, you're going stateside, I said, no, send me back to my unit. And I'll be damned, they obliged me. When I showed up at the hill, the guys in the unit looked at me and said, what the hell are you doing here? I says, yeah, I really got a wound. Well, well, I volunteered to go back. He says, well, whatever you do, don't get by me. You want to get hit by a mistake. Through that time, I extended my tour. Went home in December for a short leave and had the opportunity to make it back to the NOM in time for the Ted Offensive. And eventually coming home in September of '68. But what did I come away with my service? A lot of people ask me, you were in, what did you take away with that? And the one thing that stuck with me, and I didn't realize until later, was that whenever something needed to be done or they needed somebody to step up, I would volunteer. And when I went to work in the aerospace industry, I started up in the stockroom, and there moved up to computer operations. And one of the most exciting things that happened when we were in computer operations was at the same time the Apollo 13 was in trouble. And our boss came in onto the floor and says, whatever we do, we're not going to allow that computer system to go down because our engineers and scientists need to figure out a way to get them back. And that's exactly what we did. The system didn't go down, and they came back. And the rest is history. Eventually, I volunteered again to go to work with our division out in the Ballistic Missile Division. And while there, I finished up my education at the University of Redlands. And now that I had a degree, you're not going to be a computer operator, let's find something else for you to do. So they stuck me with our advanced technology operations. And first thing the boss said was, when I reported to him, was, well, what are we going to do with you? I don't know, we'll figure it out. Anyway, one day I go into this major's office to take him some material, and he asked where my boss was, and I said, well, I don't know, but I'll find him for you. I did. Boss met with him. Boss came back and says, get with travel because you're going to D.C. tomorrow. Okay, what for? Well, you find out when you get there. Bottom line, I show up to Systems Command in D.C., and this colonel, who was also a non-vet, comes up to me and says, all right, since they sent you, you're it. And I said, I'm in for what? He says, you're going to be our nuclear weapons systems strategic planner. Wow. What does that mean? And it was a big responsibility. As soon as we had a break, I got a phone call back down to the Ballistic Missile Division and told the major, send me a lieutenant, because I was going to need all the help I could get. And ultimately from that, I did that job. And from there I went on to supporting our operation on the arms control, SALT agreements. And I had the good fortune during that period to meet our SALT ambassador, Paul Mitsky, on a plane trip to the awards banquet. We sat next to each other. And I knew his history because of other work that I'd done for my boss with regards to strategic forces policy. And so I asked the ambassador, I know that you're key to the development of our MAD doctrine, the mutually assured destruction. And he was a key member of that strategy. And so I asked him, now you're the ambassador to SALT Talks, and you had to walk in the garden there in Reykjavik. What made this dramatic change? And he told me that I helped develop our doctrine with regards to nuclear weapons, and now is my time to change that. And that's why I'm doing this. And I thought that was very profound, the way he said it and the message that I got. From there, I did things for Brent Scowcroft, who was NSC advisor on the Strategic Force Commission. I was the administrator to make sure that the report they were putting together for President Reagan when he was giving his Star Wars address to the session of Congress. I was responsible for making sure the tech writers got what they needed, the scientists, engineers, and policymakers had all that they needed. And there again, why was I there? Well, because the boss saw that there was something in me, being a combat veteran, which he knew that I was willing to take the chance and take the challenge and do, even though I wasn't trained in it, wasn't a discipline that I was familiar with, he felt comfortable enough to give me the assignment. And it was funny, when I was doing the strategic planning, I asked him, what is it that I need to do? Because I work with our systems analysts, engineers, physicists, missile systems engineers, and he says, well, what you need to do is bone up on quantum mechanics. Oh my God. So right away I took off to the university, checked out a book on quantum theories, and not to learn quantum mechanics, but to better understand what it was. So when I was sitting in the meeting, I did thoughts. But anyway, there were a number of things like this that happened in my life. And I began to realize that it wasn't because of what I knew, it was because of my service. It was because I was willing to take the chance to do the job. I understood what the mission was, and as a military person, that's what we focus on, accomplishing the mission. So when it comes to employers, they've got to look beyond the fact that you served, that you may have PTSD or some other disabilities, that you're there to do the job. You're there to take the risk. You're there to make certain that whatever the mission is, your goal and your focus is to accomplish that. And so I began to realize that, and a lot of opportunities came my way were because of this operations manager who eventually became the vice president of the division. And how it all came together was one day he came to me, I was working on a classified program, and says, the folks here can't answer this particular question from the Pentagon. I'd like you to take a look at it. And so I looked at the classified twits, I says, give me a few minutes and I'll get back to you. It turns out what the Pentagon was asking, this was shortly after Desert Storm, was the fact that Saddam Hussein had used Scud missiles, and they were concerned. And they were concerned that he was going to be able to produce nuclear missiles, either tactical or ballistic. And I looked at it and I saw immediately that the way the Pentagon had asked the question was really asked backwards, and that's why nobody could answer the question. And so the next day I went back to his office, presented him with the first nuclear threat assessment for the Iraqis and on their nuclear capabilities. Wasn't an analyst, wasn't an engineer, missile guy, but the fact that a number of assignments I had gave me the wherewithal to understand what the problem was and how to formulate the threat and present that. And so that carried on throughout my career, 35 years in the aerospace industry. And that's what veterans bring. They bring the capability to do the job. My career ended after 6 years in Australia as the contracts administrator and business manager on a classified program. Again, stepping up and doing something didn't know a whole heck of a lot about, but I knew I had the wherewithal to complete. So that was you can do whatever it is you want to do, and don't let anybody hold you back because you know how to accomplish the mission.
Our next speaker is Rebecca Adams, who would like to speak with our community. Rebecca is an Air Force veteran.
Yeah!
There are a few of us here who served as an audio-visual specialist from 1985 to 1988 during the Cold War. Rebecca Adams.
Wow.
Thank you. I came to the Air Force being raised in a family where my dad was airplane crazy. So there was no other service I could join. And I joined on a dare. I didn't think they'd accept me. At the same time, my fiance had signed up, so there we were, both facing service. And we did get married before we went in, but another story. The unit I was assigned to was an audiovisual documentation and production unit, so we did real-time documentation of events, as well as training films. I'm sorry if you had to watch them, I know. But the one fun part of my job that I'm remembering sitting up here today is getting to run the media ambush camps for the officers in San Antonio, Texas, both Army as well as Air Force and anyone else they wanted to send through.
Right.
So I got to be the person hiding literally in the bushes as they would pull into our parking lot, and I would jump out with a cameraman at my side and stick my microphone in their face in civvies. They actually thought I was the real thing. And we got them to understand how to behave in front of a camera and represent the military well. Or they got to come through again. Being a woman in the Air Force, always in the military, presents challenges. Once you're out of the service, people look at you twice. You serve? Yes. Women serve.
Yes.
We serve with dignity and honor and pride, no matter what the situation was. My unit's initiation, and I saw a guy go through it too, so I realized it was for everybody, but the guys had a little easier time of it, was to get to run the obstacle course with the K-9 training unit, running a camera as if you are the K-9 unit. Back in the day, the batteries, we didn't have little cell phone batteries. Our batteries were 9 pounds each. We wore 6 to 8 of them all over our bodies. I was so black and blue that when my mom saw me home on leave, she asked if she needed to call the police.
Wow.
And I had to explain, that's just me, Mom. I'm pale. I bruise if you look at me, so you get through it. But my memory I want to share with everyone today is I got to do a TDY, temporary duty assignment. We had a project to videotape in Germany. And I got there just after Chernobyl. Chernobyl was in April of '86, and I got there in August. And coming from the United States back in the 80s, who drank bottled water? Nobody. But getting to the bases in Germany, the bottled water was everywhere. It was flying off the shelves. And other service members would look at you and say, no, don't take too long of a shower. We don't know how radioactive the water is. And that's what they were living under. Literally, the moms were worrying about feeding their kids vegetables grown in the gardens. And we wondered, was this the next big step? The people in Germany at that time, when we would sit with them, occasionally when we were off base and just having a meal in a restaurant and start talking, they thought that their grandchildren might see the unification of Germany. That's what they hoped for. Not their generation, not the next generation, but maybe the generation after. That's how heavy that hand of communism was on everyone's head. So to be part of the buildup of the forces during the Cold War, and knowing that at times it came very close to being a hot war, was intensely gratifying when that wall came down.
Yeah. All right.
The other cool thing I got to do was an audiovisual unit. We got to see sometimes cutting edge technology. A lot of things I still can't talk about, but I felt like I was living in the science fiction I loved as a kid. And very familiar plane now. If you go to air museums, you might see an SR-71 Blackbird. Very sleek, one of the most beautiful aircraft I think that's ever been designed. And back in the day, it was secret, but we got to see one land and take off and actually document that. So that's my very cool moment from being in the service. Since leaving the service, I worked a number of jobs. I have a family. My kids do say, Mommy, what did you do in the military? And I have stories I can tell. But I found my passion in funeral service. I work here in Los Angeles as a funeral director, and veterans are one of my special concerns. I let everyone know that my brothers and sisters in combat boots deserve the utmost respect no matter what their situation is when they come to me. I'm also very proud to have been elected as the secretary of the Los Angeles National Cemetery Support Foundation, and due to the work of this fine gentleman here, next Wednesday, we turn the shovels and we break ground on the columbarium, which will once again allow at least the urns of our veterans to be interred right here in Los Angeles. Thank you for being here today, and thank you so much for listening to us.
Yeah.
We're going to ask our next two speakers to try to keep it to under 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
Francisco Juarez would like to speak.
That's not fair.
Okay. Francisco is an Army veteran who served as a cook from 1969 to 1970. I'm sorry. In the Marine Corps.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I possibly made that mistake.
Uh-oh.
And in the reserves from 1971 to 1975. Francisco Juarez, please.
I'd like to acknowledge the Boy Scouts troop right here. If you guys can stand up and turn around and wave, please. I want to talk to you guys right now when I talk to everybody else. I want to let you know that mental health is an important issue for all veterans right now. The story I have has to do with a little bit of mental health. I left for Vietnam on my dad's birthday, January the 17th, 1968. The Tet Offensive, as Richard had pointed out, had already started at that time. And it was not a good time in Vietnam. No time in Vietnam was a good time, but this was particularly a bad time. I was sent up to Don Hall up in the I-Corps area, and from there I was, after a few months, was sent up to LZ Stud, which was later called Camp Vanderbilt. And it was the beginning of the monsoon because it was still kind of dry on the convoy going up there. We passed Congressman, we passed the rock pile, and we were about 6 clicks outside of Quezon, which was a hot spot of the war. Well, when we got up there, I was a cook. I was sent up there as a cook. But there was no cooking going on there because the only thing above ground was a Connex box or a storage box and my mess tent. And my mess tent looked like Swiss cheese from all the shrapnel that came through. Everybody lived underground there. And you were covered with sandbags and tarmac. And you did perimeter duty most of the time. So we were down one day in one of the larger bunkers that slept 8 people, I think. And I won't say what we were doing because I noticed you guys sitting up here in the front row. But there were a bunch of us down there talking and socializing. When one of the other guys ran down and he said, "Don't run up there. Chief's gone crazy. He's got to fight." Well, that meant, hey, check out what's going on upstairs. The Native American guy is acting out, and he has a grenade. So we all ran up there to see what was going on, and the chief, that's what they call people who are Native Americans. He was sitting on a pile of sandbags, and he was kind of half laughing and half crying. But what happened is mail gets backed up over there, and he got a batch of mail, and within that batch of mail, one letter was a Dear John from his girlfriend, and the other letter was from his sister advising him that his parents were getting separated or divorced. And it was too much. It pushed him over the edge. He'd been on perimeter duty for 30 days. And he got hold of a friend. And a couple of the guys got up and they went over to talk to him. And everybody was kind of looking. And when they got close to him, he pulled a pin.
Oh my God.
But he didn't let the spoon fly. Well, when he pulled that pin, everybody dove for some cover. And other guys that were behind one sandbag. But
jeez.
It was a terrible moment. I can't tell you why. And I don't know why to this day. But I got up and I walked over to him. raised it again as if he was going to let the spoon fly. And I pulled a letter from my pocket that I had gotten from my sister, asking if I could come home because our mom was real sick.
Yeah.
And I said, "You think you're the only one that gets bad news?" I said, listen to this. And he relaxed, and I sat next to him, and I began to read my letter to him. And as I was reading it to him, he motioned for me to take the flag from him. And we kind of so that I could grab the flag and the spoon wouldn't fly.
Oh, okay.
Well, as soon as the onlookers saw what I had done, they rushed us, they got the chief, they threw him on the chopper, and they sent him away. And then they took me into the command center bunker, and some sergeant started saying, he said, as you open your finger, I'll put tape. Then you open the next finger, I'll put more tape. And that way, the spoon won't fly. Okay. So I'm opening my fingers and he's putting the tape. And then he stops, he goes, "Ah, hell, this was just a Willie Peter," which would have also burned us intensely, but a Willie Peter is an illumination grenade. The major, who was the only commissioned officer at Elsie Stud, jumped dead on his ass. Told him, "I didn't see you coming out there and to talk to him or anything like that." And then he came over to me and he said, "I can't promote you in the front, but I can make sure that you have good pros and cons." Which I told him something that probably wasn't very respectful, but he didn't hold it against me.
Yeah.
I spent 1 year, 10 months, 21 days, 7 hours, 3 minutes in the Marine Corps, and then I went home. I got an early out after my 13-month tour.
Okay.
To go to college, Santa Monica College. I came out with a combat action ribbon, and I came out with a good conduct ribbon. And I want you guys to know, that as you grow up, and hopefully you won't have to go to combat, but know that combat is not a natural thing for the human person. And unfortunately, for those who are sent and exposed to things like the situation I just described, there has to be some kind of quality and genuine mental health when you come back over here.
Yes.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it has to be genuine. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is David Ned Curtis. And David's going to keep it really brief because he's going to close our program in a few minutes. And David, thank you so much. He's a Marine veteran, served as a rifleman, later a member of the military police from 58 to 61. David Ned Curtis, friend of the veteran.
Well, there he is. All right.
I think I'm just here for comic relief. I'm a Cold War veteran, 1958 to 61. The big thing, I'm a poster for the Marines because as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a Marine. Because the Marine Corps back then advertised that they build men.
Yeah.
I was a punk kid. I joined the Marine Corps the day after my 17th birthday. I was 5'8". When I got out 3 years later, I was 6'2". When I joined, I was 122 pounds. When I got out, I was 182. So I grew 6 inches and gained 60 pounds of solid bone and muscle. The Marine Corps made a man out of me.
That's it.
But I'm just forever grateful to, and the veterans here just have some magnificent stories. My main story is that I'm just still waking up every morning. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
And he's a good singer, too.
Our last speaker is Nathan Grazer, who would like to speak to our veteran community. Nathan is in the National Guard. He served as a chaplain on active duty numerous times from the year 2000 through the current day. Nathan Grazer, please.
So they say never be on the other side of people in LA traffic. So probably the wrong place. So a few months ago, I got called on a Thursday, right before Labor Day, and they said, "Hey, be here at 6 tomorrow morning." I said, "Oh, what are we doing?" "We're going to the fires." So when you get a call like that, oftentimes you feel like, "Oh wow, this is how long are we going to go for?" They say, "Well, it could be up to 30 days, it might be more." And so oftentimes we think about those of us who are in service, but the first thing I thought of is who takes the kids to school? We have a conference in a month, who's going to plan that? I'm gonna owe a lot of people a lot of things when I come back. Right, my coworkers have to make a bunch of decisions that I was supposed to make. My wife has to go in late to work in the morning and in the afternoon.
Right.
I might have to have a friend who comes and lives with us, or maybe my mom. I can talk my mom into coming and playing babysitter for a few weeks. The ripple effects are incredible. Oftentimes we think of, and even in Veterans Day, I think we think of the sacrifice that veterans make, but the sacrifice that family members, co-workers, communities make to allow people to serve is substantial. I think we rarely acknowledge and support the role of the military at the end of the day. I like to say I serve at my wife's pleasure. When I came back in September, in my mind, I thought I was going to run home and give her big smooches, right? It's keeping it PG. But what she does instead is hands me the kids and says, "I need a spa day, I'm exhausted." Right? I'm still a chaplain in the National Guard, and every day I counsel with families who struggle to make it at a time when Guard and Reserve are the majority of the fighting force.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
I think it's in what I hear today, I'm reminded that I look forward to the day when peace rules. We no longer
That's coming. When he touches down on the Mount of Olives.
Thank you very much, Nathan, Chaplain Grazer. Today, veterans of all wards had a chance to address their community directly and without intermediaries. Wow. As a guest or speaker, you took part in a community ceremony that returns the experience of war to our entire community rather than just leaving it to the people who fought. Not only is this Veterans Town Hall tremendously beneficial to veterans, but it may help bring communities and even the entire country together as well. To end this event, David Nen Curtis will lift us up and inspire us as only he can with his personal rendition of God Bless the USA.
All right.
You may rise if you wish to.
The irony of this song is that I did lose everything 12 years ago in California wildfires.
Good. Oh, those are mine. I'll make sure to get those. You can leave them here. I'll make sure to get them. It's okay.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my life. I thank my God in heaven to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. Well, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave their life for me. And I gladly stand up next to you, defend her still today. Well, there ain't no
no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, but it's time to stand and say, well, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave their life for me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Well, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Well, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave their life for me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Well, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
That he left.
Thank you, David.
Whoa. Lyin Ted.
Wonderful rendition. I think veterans just sing better. So let's give David a
yeah.
For your wonderful job today. Let's give Dov a great big round of applause.
Yeah.
This would not have been possible without the West LA Medical Director, Ann Brown. Thank you for all your good work. Just to let you know, she took the West LA VA Medical Center from a 1-star facility to a 3-star facility in less than 2 years.
Good. Good.
I'd like to thank the West LA Director of Communications, Christine Pons, the VA Police Deputy Commander, Andres Santino, as well as Jeff, Gary, and Scott, and the technical staff at the Wadsworth Theater for making this possible. Yep. And then to my entire district staff for their incredible hard work. And before I forget, I want to also wish the United States Marine Corps a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Most of all, thank you to the veterans on this stage for sharing their stories, and thank you in the audience for listening. You are the greatest nation on earth. Happy Veterans Day.
Let's keep it that way.
Thank you, Congressman Lieu, for hosting this inspirational event. Thank you to the participants, veterans who spoke on the stage, and all of you who attended Congressman Lieu's first Veterans Town Hall. Please file out carefully. Congressman will be waiting in front of the building. If you'd like to take a photo or thank you for coming.
Our president.
That's right.
That's what he does.
He's very
Every
disrespectful.
time he gets up there. That's what he does.
Our president disrespects the United States.
No, he doesn't. You're a disrespectful, sir. That's right. Move along. They're saying we're disrespectful. He's the one who's disrespectful. You should be ashamed of yourself.
People elected quit the electoral college.
He respected us. He doesn't respect us. He doesn't respect you. Why are you bringing politics?
Yes.
Because he doesn't respect you. Or you. You think he gives a shit about you?
Yeah, clearly more than you do. Wow, you're so hostile.
You guys could just all this hate.
You were telling us not to be disruptive. You've lost your mind, lady. You're like bug-eyed and crazy.
I'm sorry?
You're like bug-eyed and angry. I'm seeing your face being red. Yeah, you're right in my face too.
Angry?
angry.
Yeah, you're angry and you're losing your temper.
I'm concerned that you have lost your mind because
Why?
Because you're
I'm not the one screaming and yelling, ma'am.
So misplaced.
I'm not.
You're
Why?
the one wearing the crazy hat.
You mean making America great again is crazy? Well, that's to your shame, ma'am. I was right the first time. We got her.
Huh?
You know, we had that gentleman wearing a three-piece suit honoring our president. You know, after all that he's been through.
Yeah, I wanted to go talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and just exit towards the back. And I want to thank you for praising our president.
Yeah, that's
the right way to do it, okay? Now, he does it just the opposite.
Thank you.
I know he does. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm
Thank
here.
you for being here, man. I really appreciate it.
Sorry. And you're right. He's a sawed-off little fuck, and I don't like him. I don't like him either.
Yeah, he's Lyin Ted.
We just need to clear the lane. So
Thank you so much.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
no problem, man.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I see that stone there? Oh my God, I want to see that piece of the wall there. Here. Oh, that's awesome. That's beautiful. Here, I want to get a photo with you. So let me.
Sure.
See you later.